Welcome back to Talking Lead. This is episode 41, but it is kind of a continuation of episode 40.
We are still at the range.
Yep. It's
We're in Ball Ground, Georgia.
YouTube Range Day 2013, put on by Iraq veteran 8888. And let's just jump right into our very special guest we have here in the mobile lead sled.
How do you like our studio?
It's very cozy.
So we've got Destinee from FateofDestinee on YouTube. How are you?
Thanks for joining us.
It is my pleasure. Thanks for having me. It is a beautiful day out here.
It's perfect. We couldn't ask for any better weather.
Have you been to anything like this before?
Well, I was in Florida, but it's still not quite the same. I mean, especially just looking around, Florida is quite flat, at least the area that I was in. And up here, the rolling hills and all the greenery is just gorgeous.
Yeah,
what about the explosions? Do you have these kind of explosions in Florida?
No, or in Wisconsin for that matter.
Yeah.
I've seen where to buy tannerite, but I don't know where to actually, I'm allowed to shoot it.
So tell me the funnest gun you've shot since you've been here.
Ooh, that's a good question. The Beowulf was fun.
Oh, did you get to shoot that?
Was that you earlier?
The Beowulf with the 9-inch barrel.
Oh, wow.
Shot it with, shot it unsuppressed and then shot it with a titanium suppressor. That was both. That was really.
How was the kick on that?
Unsuppressed, 9-inch barrel. Unsurprisingly, quite a noticeable recoil.
Sure.
Not out of control or anything, but it was. I definitely had to have it in real tight, and it took me a second to realign shots or reel in my sights after that first shot. But with the suppressor on, more manageable. But it's got quite a bark to it, even with the suppressor.
I can imagine. I hadn't shot it yet, but I heard it a minute ago, and it sounded just like the tannerite was going off again.
Yeah,
It's pretty incredible.
Definitely.
Nice little testosterone boost there.
Yeah, it was a great experience. It definitely is one of those like fun novelty guns, like the Magnum 500, where I don't know that I would be, it'd be practical for me to shoot it all the time, partly because it's kind of expensive to shoot, but
Sure.
that doesn't change the fact that I want one.
Yeah, those Beowulf rounds are probably about $3 a pop or something like that.
Yeah,
It's up there. Yeah, we were going to shoot a 338 Lapua down here, and we went to get ammo. We've even got it in the truck. We went to get ammo, and it was for 20 rounds, $139.
Yeah,
I was like, nah.
Christ.
Yeah, we won't be shooting that one.
We might show it to people, but if they've got the ammo, they can shoot it. That's all they want.
So how did you originally get into guns, Destinee?
Well, my family is always kind of handing them around. Like my one side of the family, they do a lot of hunting, so they've got the shotguns and rifles. But then my dad, since I was little, I can remember him going out to the range and shooting with his friends, and me sitting with really huge ear protection on the bench with my feet, dangling because I couldn't quite reach the ground. Just watching him have fun with rifles, and eventually I got big enough. He started teaching me how to shoot, so it's something that I've kind of had in my family.
Do you remember the first firearm you fired?
Do BB guns count?
Sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, that was the first gun that I learned firearm safety, because my little brother got one for Christmas present, and oh my gosh, I was just green with envy. But my brother, being the awesome person he is, of course, shared with me, and Dad taught us range safety at the same time using that BB gun. And then by 7, I was doing a turkey shoot with a little youth shotgun, and
Nice.
just kind of moved up a little bit since then.
Gotcha.
Well, we'll probably go ahead and skip this question because you're too young, I'm sure, to have any military or law enforcement background.
How old are you?
24.
She's
Okay.
old enough to have
I
out
thought you
there.
were like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you had any military or law enforcement background?
My family's military. Both my
Experience.
parents are veterans. My brother's actually deployed overseas right now.
Oh, wow.
I've taken my ASVAB, but then when I got the results back, I decided if I do decide to go into the military, I'm going to wait till after I finish my degree, which is taking me a little while.
Yeah. What are
Those
you working
degrees are
on?
expensive. Biology with an emphasis in pre-med, and
So my degree's in?
I absolutely. The only 2 things I can talk to you just till I'm blue in the face are guns and human bio specifically.
Oh, we're going to have to sit down later.
Like I've tutored biology, anatomy, and physiology. I just can't get enough of the stuff. But I'm also doing a ton of writing with thearmsguide.com. I'm managing editor for that site, and so figure while I'm still in school, I may as well throw in a few English credits, maybe double major in English. I was double majoring in art, but I kind of see a little bit more career prospect in English than in art. Yeah, I mean, I like art, but which is kind of funny. A lot of people, when they know about the gun stuff that I'm interested in, they don't expect me to also have an interest in art and music. But,
Sure.
you know, firearms people are firearms enthusiasts. They're definitely well-rounded individuals, and not just like, you know, guns and, you know, my cold dead hands and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've obviously got artists out here. Look at the type of targets we have. We've got spaceships and moose and.
Oh, my favorite's a little velociraptor, but he was torn
Oh, I
apart
didn't
by
see
shotgun
that one.
rounds.
Was he really? Oh,
Yeah, he was
man.
adorable. He had the big like
And a
toe.
dinosaur.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was
That was
great.
awesome.
I missed that.
Oh yeah, he's like ripped up and he's sad now.
Was he near the exploding refrigerator?
I was just saying, we got some shrapnel from the refrigerator.
Nah, somebody went out with the shotgun. Just dumped a
blew it
bunch, I think
away.
like birdshot or something.
Went
in
crazy
it.
on him.
Yeah, so he's a little looking the worst for the wear.
Nice. And when it comes to pop culture, whether it be music, video games, movies, TV, anything that involves firearms, what is your favorite? What's your go-to?
I'm just really a huge like action movie fan. I don't really watch. I'll watch a comedy once in a while. I don't do romantic like.
Chick flicks.
Foo-foo movies.
Yeah, but I really love one of my all-time favorite movies of ever is Apocalypse Now, specifically The Redux. I can watch that movie over and over again.
I'm shocked.
Props to Dad. I mean, I'll pound the camera there.
Dad is a big influence on that, huh?
Yeah, teaching the daughter the right movies to watch.
Yeah, he had made some sort of reference to it. I'm like, don't know what you're talking about. He's like, you haven't seen Apocalypse Now. You can't be my kid and not have.
You have to sit down and watch this.
And I watched it.
Was it Love the Smell of the Napalm in the Morning?
That was probably it.
Yeah.
But I went immediately and I ordered the special edition DVD.
Charlie
as soon as
don't
I'd seen
surf.
it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
No. Has there been, or is there, a gun in your arsenal that you, and it could just be a little bit of, you know, just a small portion of it that maybe is a shame that you own?
Or a little embarrassed to say that you.
Not really. There are certain crowds. Okay, I guess I'll give you my little disclaimer.
Okay.
I am one of those. I'm one of those people who I think if
Qualify your
a
answer.
gun works for you, that's great. Even if it doesn't work for me, or I don't like it, or I think it's ugly, or I can't shoot for crap with it, but it works for you, then it's still a good gun. Just maybe not for me. One of those guns for me is the Beretta M9. I know a lot of people just
Really?
can't stand it. They hate it. They think it's the worst thing ever. A lot of military guys who see my reviews on it, they watch the video and they're like, don't you know that thing is just a piece of trash. Don't even
Right.
touch it. But it works well for me. I don't have it, like it doesn't fail on me, and for my use as a hobbyist target shooter and,
So you've got a lot of
entry-level
grief over
USPSA.
liking that gun.
Yeah, but I'm not ashamed of it. I'll tell somebody, like, I carry it. Not this moment, right now I'm carrying 1911, but, which I get grief over sometimes too. What, not a Glock? No hating on Glocks. But 1911 shoots better for me, specifically my Kimber, but that's probably because I have like 20,000 rounds through it. And that's more than I have
familiar with it.
How many malfunctions?
Before I changed the recoil spring, I was having a lot of problems. But since I got a new recoil spring,
None?
nothing, no problems.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I shoot factory stuff through it. I don't put reloads through it. So that may be a bit of a factor, because Kimbers are sometimes known for being a little particular with their tolerances. But I shoot more
Persnickety.
accurately with that than anything else I own.
Do you reload too?
Not yet. I would really like to, but every time I save enough money for the equipment, the dies and everything, I spend it on a gun.
Who was it that
Yeah.
told us they were getting? Gabby. Yeah, Gabby said she's going to start
Yep.
reloading.
Yeah, I've been saying it for ages, and I really do want to. And I have, plans for some of the presses that I've been eyeing up and everything. But I have a hard time not justifying buying guns.
Sure.
I'm sure that's a problem that you can relate to. So.
Okay.
So when it comes to firearms, what is next on your bucket list? What's the next gun that you just have to have?
Have to have.
Okay, that one's kind of a toss-up because I just started shooting Cowboy Action. I shot a SASS match. Somebody sponsored me for it. Absolutely.
What's your cowboy name?
Dead-Eye Destinee.
Dead-Eye Destiny, sweet.
I thought it was kind of fun, a little playoff.
It was
game.
cool. I like it.
So I
So
want
you
to
do all the dress up and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
wanna
better
get
than
more for
Tim's.
it.
Tim gave us, what was it, like William #1 or something? It was like just so simple. It's
Yeah.
like, come on, man.
Really? It's not a cool, like, Bad Bart or something?
That's fun. Yeah, so I want to get set up for SASS. I'm kind of eyeing up a pair of Ruger Vaqueros, maybe a Henry, and a trench gun to kind of get me set up.
Nice.
But I think the next handgun purchase, maybe, is a TZ75. I love the CZs, but I'm really interested in the Tanfoglio copy of it.
So speaking of having guns, is there a gun that you have once owned that you wished you had back?
I have, up to this point, I'm crossing my fingers as I say this, have not yet had to sell a gun. And
So Gabby had the same answer too. She was like, I don't get rid of my guns.
I
Well,
keep my guns.
being in the financial position that I'm in, which is not exactly what I would consider well off, I save a lot. I do a ton of research, and more often than not, I also like rent or find friends who have the same the gun that I want and put rounds through it. So I'm
Check it
already
out before
really
you buy it.
invested, before I even make the purchase. And then when I get it, just shooting it even more just kind of makes it, it's my gun. And
That's
Right.
right.
I
Yep. I have the same. Once I get one, I have a very hard time getting rid of it.
I would be so
Because I'm like you, I'll
hard-pressed.
put a lot of research and time into studying it before I get it, and then once I've got it, then I know that's the one I want. Very rarely will I get one. It might be I just might run across a great deal on a gun sometime, and I'll just buy it because it's great. And then after I shoot it, I might not like it so much, and then I'll get rid of it. But yeah, I understand. I know where you're coming from.
Yeah. I thought about selling one of my guns to upgrade to something nicer, and in the end, I just couldn't do it. I brought the gun to the range, or I was going to sell it and trade in, and I was
It's like I'll just wait a little bit longer,
You
save
know
up a little bit more, and I'll have them both.
yeah, and then I just went out and shoot. I'm like, you know what? That was a good decision. We're going home now.
Good for you.
Now, what started the whole YouTube thing? How did that happen?
Like with most people, it really was just a spur of the moment almost. Like I was going out shooting with my dad, and I've been hanging out with some friends in another part of the country, and they thought, it'd be cool if we keep in touch with when we do something cool, we'll throw up a YouTube video. And one of these times I was shooting with my dad, and I said, hey, take my cell phone and let's record this. We'll throw it up on YouTube. It'll be just for kicks and giggles. It'll be fun. And as it turned out, those videos, it wasn't just my buddy watching or even my family members. There's a whole community of people who are firearms enthusiasts. And to me, that was really wonderful. And it has kept me engaged and involved in making videos for the last 2.5 years now.
Yeah. So you've only been doing it 2.5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, awesome. You've grown pretty fast.
There are some channels that grow faster, but I am really grateful because I never planned for this to become something really remarkable. So when my channel recently hit 50,000 subscribers, my jaw was just on the floor. That is so awesome.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And you and our buddy Plinkster kind of flip back and forth on who's higher every now and then, right?
Yeah, now and then. I watch his videos too. And watching him shoot in person is just like, oh, dang it, that's real. He really does shoot that well.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
and then I go out there and I do the little card splitting, and he reminds me over and over again that it took me 9 shots and it took you 7. So
It's hard to do.
it is. It's tough.
And you think, when you look at the card at first, and you're like, oh, that's not so bad. And then you get it straight on the way you need to get it to be able to split it with that tiny little 22
Yeah.
gun, and it just about disappears.
Oh yeah, and then if he wouldn't have been behind me telling me where it was going, I never would have got it. I never would have got it because you can't see where the bullet's going when you're the one aiming it. It's like I would have shot 500 times and never split it. But luckily he was going, okay, you're a little left.
Doing that out here
You go a
with
little
you a
right,
couple
go a little right. You're right there, and then it happened. Of course, I cheated on the competition we had.
I want to see.
Y'all actually did it legit. I cheated.
I want to see
Did
the
you see
double
that yet?
hand card
No,
split.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen
He
it?
mentioned it. He said that he did it with you, or did that shoot with you, but I didn't.
We did the competition. It was the first to split 2 cards, and he got the first one, and I got scared, so I grabbed my Benelli Nova and won.
Yeah, he was telling me
The
about
famous
that.
Zeke cheat.
And then we just had a competition. I don't know.
Close enough. The card was gone.
I
right?
never cheat in sports and stuff, but for some reason with gun competitions, I'm like, you know what? If I got a full auto or a shotgun, I'm just gonna use that.
It gets the job done.
Yeah.
So- Tell us what's next up for Destiny.
Well, right now I have the Helping Hands project I just launched, and so I will be continuing ramping that up
Tell us a little
excited.
bit about our listeners what that is.
Well, when my channel hit 50,000 subscribers, as a way of kind of showing my appreciation for the people who have supported my channel up to this point, I started an effort to help and get other smaller channels started. So any channel that's less than 5,000 subscribers, they're being promoted, and I'm asking the community to come together, shout out 2 channels that they like that are less than 5,000 subscribers, and people who are making video responses, they're eligible to win some prizes from me to help encourage people to help each other out.
Are we allowed to shout ourselves out? Because we fall in that category. We've got like 6 subscribers, right? Something like that.
6?
Maybe
I
7.
thought we got up to 8.
We may have hit
I think
8
we got
now.
one of these guys here to sign up.
That's what it was. Yeah.
We're almost double digits.
Tim took the urinal photo of us and it shot us up to 10. Oh my gosh. You haven't seen that, have you?
No, I have
Thank
not.
God. Please don't go to his Instagram page.
Now everybody's gonna go to his Instagram.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's
So that's a
We're
great
in the
project
men's room.
that you've
This
got
way.
going on to give back to the community there and help grow other people that have the same dreams that you do. And that's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's
It's a great
hard to
idea.
get started. And I remember it wasn't that long ago that my channel was very, very slowly, making that climb. And so people who either help share these videos, the Helping Hands Project videos, I'm going to give them some prizes. People who make videos and get involved and promote other channels, they're going to get some prizes. So,
And just so our listeners know, we have donated some Talking Ledge swag
yes.
for one of your little prize packs on that. So yeah,
Yep. And I'm very
we're
excited.
glad to help out.
We're already getting a bunch of people who have sent me emails saying, hey, my channel had, X subscribers before, this project, I got involved in the project. And the more videos that are out there, the more people that are watching going, oh, I never heard of, that channel and that channel. And it often ends up coming back around like it's kind of a nice karma,
Yeah.
a way to
That's
get
very
some more
cool.
attention to these smaller channels too.
Very-
Even if you don't win a prize, you still get something from it.
Sure, absolutely, dude. That's a very cool project that you have going on. I was gonna say something else. I can't remember.
You see, now you're also musically inclined,
Oh yeah.
right?
I really enjoy music. I did a lot of choir in high school, went to performing arts high school for a little while. The funny thing is, though, that I have a really low singing voice, and so I sang tenor with some of the guys, or I was just an alto. Altos never get to have the melody. They're always like harmonizing, but I really enjoy singing, even though I don't think I'm some sort of like American Idol or voice star or whatever. So music is a big part of my family life. We all either play or sing or...
Do you do any instruments? Do you play any instruments?
I've taken a few years of violin. I know enough guitar chords. Wow,
The
guitar
guitar
chords.
is the greatest instrument ever made. I love it. Yeah, I learned how to
Yes.
play guitar once. It was cool.
Well, I realized I'm not terribly good at it, so I learned a few chords to be able to accompany myself singing, and kind of gave up. And I just let my dad accompany me because he is way better at it than I am.
See, you sound like me. It's like I took violin when I was little. I took piano. I took drums.
That's my favorite instrument. Piano.
I took guitar. I took bass. And then eventually I just sang in a heavy metal band. But it was more like screaming, so.
That's awesome. I listen to a lot of metal.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I've been listening to Slipknot all the way up here.
Nice. I listen to that
Drives
when
him
I'm writing.
nuts.
That's why we drove separate. So I have to listen to that crap.
Yeah, I need really loud, angry stuff that I may or may not be able to actually understand what they're saying in
Yes.
order to be able to write.
Yes, exactly.
That seems to help. So
I
a lot of
listen to
times,
Barbara Streisand and Air Supply.
Air Supply.
I've taken to even listening to stuff in foreign language, because if I
Yes.
listen to it in English, I start singing with it or typing it. And
Rammstein. It's a good
I
one.
love them. Eisenbrecher. If you like Rammstein, you'll like Eisenbrecher.
Right. There are our intro song is from is it Swedish?
German now. I don't know what
Is
this
it there's a Swedish band that gave us our intro song called Despite that are
I've
very
heard
good.
of them.
They're very, very
They
good.
are good, yeah. I do
Yeah.
like them.
They gave us our intro song for the podcast, so
I feel like my music horizon has just been expanded.
it has. We'll get it set up.
I gotta say, I love Pandora Radio. I find so many new bands.
Oh
like that.
yeah. Oh,
That's the
yeah.
one
my
where
guilty
you
pleasure.
put something in and it'll give you similar.
Yep.
Yeah. that's
Yeah, I
cool.
made a
like that.
Rammstein radio station, and I found all these bands like Samael, and,
Yeah.
well, that's actually how I originally discovered Eisenbrecher and fell in love.
Nice.
KMFDMs and other
What's another one that's along those lines? Warhammer. Is it Warhammer? I think they're like a
That sounds so
Icelandic. It is. It's like, we have just totally taken this in another direction. Welcome to Talking Metal with Destiny and Zeke.
That's what happens when I don't have a script. Oh wait, I never have a script. Is that why I ramble so much? Dang it.
You never have a script?
Oh, never.
I'm impressed.
If I had a script, any time that I prepared a script for like my very early videos, like the first ones 2.5 years ago, the ones that never even made it to YouTube because they were so awful. They were so awful.
Practice makes perfect.
We learned that the hard way. Our first video, which was actually one of our biggest videos, was the gun ban letter campaign. And we scripted the entire thing. Oh my gosh, it took us how long? An hour and a half to knock out a 10-minute, less than 10-minute video?
Script.
Yeah, and then we were like, we started winging it. We started winging it, and it flowed a lot better. We're like, okay, yeah, we don't need. I mean, we kind of script it before the video, but other than that, we just wing the whole thing.
Yeah, I take notes. I mean, I do my research so I know what I want to talk about beforehand, and having familiarity with whatever the gears that I'm covering, like in a review or introducing some new technique that I've just learned for firearms training from some instructor or what have you. I have the preparation done ahead of time, but I'll just generally have like a set of notes in my head and run with it. And the first couple of takes, not so good, but I kind of work into it.
Now, so, question, and this is going to be really impressive if it wasn't scripted. You have experience recording things in vehicles, like we're in our mobile studio now. The one where you do the split personality girl.
Oh, that was really
that was winging it.
I had an idea of things that I wanted to say. Every time I recorded it, every take was different.
That's awesome. I'm impressed.
I had like pauses worked in, and the first couple of tries it was kind of awkward. So that was a lot of really funny video for any of the people in the parking lot, because I was sitting in the passenger seat, and then I'd record, and then I'd sit in the driver's seat and record.
You get a lot of funny looks from people.
I just remember what I was going to ask.
Okay. Ask it.
Talking Lead. Our name is a play on the TV show Walking Dead. Were you in Walking Dead?
I have had somebody say that there was apparently an episode with this girl.
This girl looks and sounds just like you. There's a wall that's kind of guarding this one little town, and she has one quick scene, and I thought, oh, well, that must have been a cameo that Destiny got.
If only.
She looks like you, she talks like you, and I was kind of like, I even went back to your videos, would go and watch it. I was like, that's gotta be her.
Is this in the governor's town?
Yeah, she's on the wall, and she's talking to the blonde girl that's dating the governor. I can't remember her name. Andrea.
She's dead.
Yeah, she's dead now, but yeah, I was like, that's gotta be her. And then, so it wasn't you.
My horrible secret is I've never even seen a single episode of The Walking Dead.
Really?
Don't just defriend me. I'm sorry.
No, we will keep you as friends.
I really love zombies.
There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
If you're very busy, don't start.
That's why
it's very addictive.
That is exactly why I have it.
It's like
That's why they
crack.
make Netflix.
Yeah, it's in my Insta queue, or what did they change it to, the my list?
Yeah, what's up with that?
That's weird. Actually, I read a little a note about it, maybe it's a blog post somewhere. I read a ton on the internet, but somebody said it was because so many people didn't know the word Q, because it's kind of a funny spelled word.
Right.
How often do you write it down? And there was some customer service rep who was complaining about it, like, people would say, like, my quiche, my kuwei.
My quay's wrong.
Yeah, or something crazy like that. So I guess they figured this was easier.
That's awesome.
I don't know that for sure, but that's something I found on the internet, which, of course, if it's on the internet, it must be true.
It is.
Makes sense.
Everything we say is always true.
I believe it.
No. So, do you have anything big planned video-wise here?
So far I'm getting a lot of great footage. I want to touch base with a few of the other YouTubers.
Sure.
What's wonderful is a lot of these faces are familiar to me because I'm watching their videos, and now I actually get to meet them in person.
Sure.
So I'm hoping to get some interactions with them. And I've already gotten some great range footage, and definitely planning to get some more. I mean, there's some fun toys out there.
It's kind of weird. You get out here and you've got all these ideas for videos as you're coming to one of these things, and you get here and it's so intense that you're just recording everything, and you're like, how am I going to piece this into stuff? And you're like, yeah. So now a lot of people don't know, of course, through the podcast because you can't see us, but Destiny's dad, also known as Dad of Destiny, is filming this.
DOD.
And do you want to interview us on your channel while we're interviewing you? Do you have questions for us?
Interviewception! Well, you know, I'm sure that a lot of people who are watching my YouTube channel may not know of your YouTube channel or of your podcast. So, what's Talking Lead about? I mean, you mentioned it's a playoff of the name is a playoff of The Walking Dead, but obviously, you want to talk about guns.
Do you want me to start the Inception story?
Sure. We'll let
Wonderful.
So basically, what's happened is Left Hand and I have been friends for many years, and we both enjoy guns. And recently, I've gotten more into the gun culture and learned more. In the last 2-3 years, probably something like that.
Yeah, I kind of introduced him to the modern firearm world.
Right. I've always
got him into it.
I've always been a hunter, or I've had self-defense weapons or anything, and I've always been a hunter. I had self-defense weapons, but I never really got into buying a bunch of them and learning all the things that we've learned here. And one day we were on the phone for an hour and a half talking about guns, and he said, "Oh, well, let's start a gun shop." And I was like, "Yeah, there's too much government red tape. What we can do?" Well, I was listening to a lot of gun podcasts at the time. I said, "Let's start a gun podcast." And of course, his reaction was, "What the bleep is a gun podcast?" So
I was like, "What's a podcast?"
Yeah, what's a podcast? So the company I work for, we own 2 radio stations, 2 Mexican radio stations. I know it's kind of odd, but we went to the Mexican radio station and we recorded our first 4 episodes, actually.
Not in Mexican.
Yeah, no, not in Spanish.
Not in Mexican.
Not in Mexican? Is their language? Not in
español se prefieren.
Oh, wow, impressive. So we
Mexican.
we started the podcast, had 20, 30 listeners, and we thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Well, then we had this little guy, really tiny guy, come on the show on our 4th episode, named Hickok45.
Oh yeah, he is a
He's kind of short, tiny guy. And he came on the show, and all of a sudden we had 4,000 downloads of that show. And we're like, whoa. And we looked at the countries, and we were in over 100 countries. So we're like, well, let's kind of take this from a hobby and see what we can do. So we kind of progressed it, and then it's evolved into this thing where pro-gun people can come on the show.
We took it on the road. Back up a little bit. We took it on the road because we want to see how feasible it was.
Oh, that's right.
So we booked some time at the Houston NRA meeting in Houston.
Yep.
And we were part of the Firearms Radio Network. They actually asked us to be part of their network after our first episode. Mm-hmm. And being a part of them, we got to go to the Houston NRA meeting. And from there, we're like, all right, this is where we're going to find out whether we've got legs, if what we're doing here is legit, or do people want to hear us? Are we interesting? So that's where we actually found out, by going and doing the interviews with the Glocks and the companies that were there.
Because those guns give great interviews. They really talk
the
a lot.
Glock companies. Arlie Army was one of the representatives there. Got to meet him. Who else? The Top Shot people. Mm-hmm. That's where we became good friends with Gabby Franco, who is a regular on our show. She's on once a month, has a segment. From there, we met our publicist also. And she really kind of gave us, the boost we needed to say, all right, this has got something here, and let's take it to the next level. So that show really is where we made the decisive factors, like, all right, we'll push it to the next level.
So you guys have had a lot of growth in just very recent times.
Yes.
Yeah. We've only been going since December.
Yeah.
We started in December.
Our first episode was the same day that Newtown happened.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're recording our episode going, should we even do this or not?
This is a sign. Yeah. We shouldn't even be doing this.
Yeah.
But we took it the opposite way. It's like, no, actually, this is what we should be doing.
Yeah.
Our whole thing was to keep politics out of our show. Because we even though you can't, we'll skim on politics, we'll talk about it. Whoever we have on, if they want to talk about it, that's great. But we don't try to emphasize it, or we don't try to push our views on our
We try to be politically neutral except for the Second Amendment. We're completely pro-gun. Any other politics, we try to stay neutral.
We'll give our opinion, we'll state our opinions, but we're not going to push it down your throat.
Right. Yeah. And most people know where we stand.
We'll leave it at that, and we'll move on.
Yeah.
Oh.
We don't want to alienate any gun owners out there that are gun enthusiasts, because I think on every end of the political spectrum, there's people out there that love guns, and we don't want to alienate anybody because we all have to be in this fight together. So that's kind of the perspective we try to take it from.
I can
The
appreciate that.
concealed carry, the open carry, I mean, we're all in the same boat, you know, and we need to work together.
Yeah, I've had plenty of people mention to me that, yeah, I'm a liberal, or, you know, I consider myself to be, you know, liberally minded, but I absolutely love guns, or I vote Democrat my whole life, my whole family does, but I love guns. I'm sure those folks find a home in your podcast.
Yeah, definitely do.
We welcome everyone.
All right, so you guys posed this question to me, and I struggled because there's a lot out there. But what's your favorite firearms that you've seen so far today?
You take it first.
Me?
I've got to mill through this.
Mine was the MP5, but then when I shot that H&K G36, ooh, I kind of took over. So I think I'm gonna go with the G36.
I haven't got to shoot that one yet.
Ooh, you gotta go shoot it. And put the 100-round drum on it. That thing was amazing.
Yes, please. All right, left hand, you're up.
Wow. There's so many.
I
like 'em
Put you in the hot
all.
spot now.
I like them all. I want one of each.
You can't take the easy
I
way
really
out.
like shooting that short-barreled Saiga shotgun.
That thing's got some bark to it. You can hear it like wherever you are.
But unless you're shooting it, if you're right up there shooting it, it wasn't that bad. It's like behind you is when it was, you know, really bad. But that thing was awesome. I liked it.
It looks fun. I haven't shot that one yet, but I've seen a bunch
We were
of
shooting
people.
the slugs through it, and man, I mean,
Draw some attention.
powerful.
And the acoustics in this little gully we're in is unbelievable.
Little valley, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, that big fire was kind of.
I don't know what you're talking about. Plausible deniability, remember?
We were cooking marshmallows.
Plausible deniability.
Awesome. Well, for my viewers here who are
Sure.
checking out this video, where can they find your podcast?
They can go to our website at www.talkingled.com, and then there's links to iTunes, Stitcher. They can get to it from there. They can go to the Firearms Radio Network, and then they can go to from our website, link to our YouTube channel, our Facebook
Go to the
page.
YouTube channel.
Yes, go to the YouTube channel.
We're
see
one
our
of those
videos.
under 5,000 channels. Wait, does this count as our Helping Hands video right here? No, I'm just kidding. We're actually going to do a Helping Hands video for a couple of
Sweet.
channels that aren't us, under 5,000.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, I'll
so-
pop a link
An
into the
under
description.
5,000 helping under 5,000. How about that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
You definitely can contribute to, you know, the growth, and other people find your channel. So
Yeah.
share the
The whole
love.
goal.
And then when the camera exit our indoor studio here, make sure you get our vehicles, and then everybody can see.
They do look nice. I noticed both of the Talking Lead vehicles are pretty fancy schmancy.
We wanted to make an impression when we rolled in.
Mission accomplished.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to pose a question, and I think I have a mic here. Y'all are Wisconsinites,
Yes, sir.
and we are doing a fundraiser right now for one of the Green Bay Packers.
Really?
AJ Hawk, linebacker, has a foundation called Hawks Locks for Kids. And that's why our hair is getting a little shaggy. I usually have a faux hawk, and he's usually pretty tight,
I
close
usually
cut.
keep it pretty tight, but
And we're growing our hair out for a year, and then after that we're going to go to an event up there. So we'll actually have to look y'all up when we get up to Wisconsin.
Most
But
definitely.
when we go up there, we're going to cut our hair, and we've actually got a handful of fans that are doing it too.
That is
And he sends it to kids that, not just cancer, but if they have alopecia and they lose their hair because,
for whatever reason that they've lost their hair.
right, and they make wigs with it. So I was going to see if Dad of Destiny would join in that little competition.
I don't know if his he has a day job, which is actually why he can help me out
Oh,
with the channel. because
gotcha.
Sometimes, go
But
to
it's
the
for a good
range.
cause. If you explain the cause.
Yeah, so hey, look, it's a fundraiser.
Yeah, the corporate environment that I work in, it just doesn't
Yeah,
fit.
we got the But yeah, it's a good organization. And remember, all the listeners out there, that if you want to join us, send us a Facebook pic, send us a picture on email.
Before and after.
Before and after, telling us that you're involved, and we're going to make sure it goes to the right people, right places. I didn't realize, I've had friends my age that have had cancer. And when they go through chemo, they just shake their head. But when you're a kid, it's such a blow to your self-esteem when you lose your hair. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's a really
good
noticeable
thing.
change.
It is. Definitely.
Not a lot of kids shave their head just for the heck of it.
No. Well, thanks for coming on. We've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's
Do you
my
have any more
pleasure.
questions
Yeah.
for us? Is that it? I don't want to cut you off.
No! Put me on the spot!
Yeah.
And then, of course, my mind was a complete blank.
That was the ultimate question.
well.
Do you have questions for us?
What is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything?
That's the one that always gets me in like interviews. Do you have any more questions for us?
Yeah.
Can I have the job?
I always hate that one too. Or, can you describe your weaknesses? I told you I wanted the job!
I suck. But I make good with it.
Just can't get up in the mornings.
Yeah. All right. Well, Destiny, appreciate it. We'll look forward to hanging out, do some more stuff.
And give
out here
give
in the
your
range with
channel
you.
a plug.
Oh yeah.
Well, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, if you haven't discovered me, FateofDestinee. That's with 2 E's at the end because apparently I don't know how to spell.
Now you started a second channel too, right?
Yes,
Okay.
all things Destiny. It's just a play off my name.
Okay.
That is my name, Destiny. I do get that question a lot. Like, did you
Gotcha.
just come up with that? I wish I could give myself credit for that, but that was my parents came up with that.
Oh, nice.
They knew you were going to do a YouTube.
We've had people ask if I was talking and he's led, or vice versa, but
That's funny.
not really. It's just a cheesy joke that really flopped.
I can appreciate corny humor. I mean, I never would have survived the
Can't pay him
name
any
Destiny.
attention. That's nothing.
Exactly.
Keep going.
All right. Thanks, Destiny.
It's my pleasure.
Got it. Cool.